Aaron Judge couldn't believe it. After getting jammed by a 17-year-old high schooler in a bases-loaded jam at the World Baseball Classic, the reigning AL MVP stood there post-game and said, and I'm paraphrasing, "I know I wasn't doing that at 17. That's the quote. That's where we are. And the Toronto Blue Jays? They've been watching this kid for a while now. Let's talk about José Contreras, son of former MLB All-Star José Contreras, who you might remember from the 2005 World Series champion Chicago White Sox. 10 seasons in the big leagues, 78 wins, a split-finger fastball that was genuinely nasty. And now his kid, his 17-year-old kid, who is still in high school in Georgia, is out here touching 97, getting Judge to ground into an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded and making Team USA look uncomfortable at the plate. This isn't a hype job. This is actually happening. Blue Jays insider Bob Elliott of the Canadian Baseball Network put it out there on X before the WBC even started. Toronto scouts have been evaluating José Contreras ahead of the 2026 MLB Draft. That's not a rumor. That's on record. The Jays had eyes on this kid before he ever threw a pitch on an international stage. And now that he's gone out there and done what he did against the best collection of American baseball talent assembled on one roster, that interest just got a whole lot more serious. Right now, Contreras sits at 34th on Baseball America's top prospects list for the 2026 draft. That's where he is today. But think about what just happened. He pitched 1.1 innings against Team USA in a World Baseball Classic game. He allowed 1 run on 2 hits. He got Aaron Judge, to ground out with the bases loaded. He threw a 96.9 mile-per-hour fastball that made the AL MVP swing through air. He is 17 years old and in high school. The number 34 is not going to hold. You watch the performance he put together in that game. You watch how calm he was with a full stadium, cameras everywhere, the best hitters in the country standing in against him, and you tell me that number doesn't move before draft night. Mark DeRosa, the Team USA manager, was on the broadcast with Fox's Ken Rosenthal, and he basically gave Contreras a scouting report in real time. He talked about the heater sitting 95 to 97. He mentioned the split, said the kid has his dad's split. That's not a nothing detail. José Contreras' splitter was a weapon throughout his entire career. If Joseph has inherited even a version of that pitch with the velo he's already showing at 17, that's a starting pitcher profile right there. DeRosa was impressed, Judge was impressed, and the Blue Jays, they were already in the building. Now here's why this matters specifically for Toronto. The Jays have spent the last few years trading away significant pieces of their farm system to chase a window that, let's be honest, didn't fully open the way the organization hoped. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is still there. Bo Bichette's future with the team gets more uncertain with every passing offseason. The roster has been in this in-between space, not fully rebuilding, not quite contending, and the farm system took hits because of it. But things are shifting. The pipeline is getting better. MLB.com's Keegan Matheson has said publicly that he thinks the Blue Jays system is on the verge of cracking the top 10 in baseball. That's a real development. Trey Yesevich has turned heads. The organization is stacking right-handed pitching depth in the low minors. And now, they're connected to, arguably, the most exciting prep arm in the country heading into next year's draft. If Contreras is still sitting around 34 on draft boards when Toronto's pick rolls around, you have to think they are seriously in play here. That's a first-round talent at a position, starting pitching, where the Jays have gone all in on development. They've shown they can develop arms. The infrastructure is there. And if you can add a 17-year-old with mid to upper 90s heat, a potentially plus split inherited from a big league veteran father, and the mental composure to strand the bases loaded against Aaron Judge in an international tournament, yeah, you take that. The Poise piece is worth sitting with for a second because it doesn't show up in a stat line. Contreras wasn't rattled. That situation, bases loaded, Judge at the plate, the whole world watching Brazil play the United States in the WBC, that is a moment that breaks a lot of kids. It breaks a lot of professional pitchers. And this kid stood on the mound and executed. Judge said it himself, the poise stood out. The ability to control himself in that environment is not something you can easily teach. Either you have it or you don't. And Contreras showed he has it at an age when most kids his age are worried about prom and their high school record. His fastball is already touching 100. Let that sink in. This is a high school junior or senior, wherever he is in his class, who can run it up to triple digits. The projection on a frame that still has physical development ahead of it is legitimate. You're not projecting hope with this kid. You're projecting a body that hasn't fully arrived yet, and an arm that's already doing this. That's terrifying for opposing hitters, and that's exciting for whatever organization ends up drafting him. For the Blue Jays, the timing makes sense on multiple levels. The 2026 draft is shaping up to be a class with some real talent at the top, and Toronto is going to have a pick in a range where Contreras could absolutely be available. If he continues to perform in the WBC, and if Brazil advances deep into the tournament, his stock rises further with every outing. Every inning he throws against elite competition is another data point for scouts, another argument for moving him up boards, another reason a team with the Jays' pick position needs to have him firmly in the conversation. What I keep coming back to is the context. This isn't a showcase event. This isn't a perfect conditions high school outing where you're facing a lineup of uncommitted prospects. This is the World Baseball Classic. The guy he got out was the person who hit 62 home runs in a single season, the guy who might be the best right-handed hitter alive. And Contreras jammed him, induced the double play, walked off the mound with the lead preserved, cool as anything. If you're a scout, if you're a front office evaluating the 2026 draft class right now, that performance just jumped to the top of your conversation. The Blue Jays need to win. They need to get back to October baseball. They need the farm system to produce, and they need the big league roster to compete. Adding a high-ceiling arm like Contreras, someone who could be a legitimate frontline starter in 3 to 4 years, fits exactly what the organization is trying to build. You draft him, you develop him the right way, you let Tiedemann and Yesevich blaze the trail ahead of him, and suddenly you have a rotation pipeline that looks very different than the one Toronto has been running for the last half-decade. Watch the WBC, watch Contreras, because if he keeps pitching the way he pitched against Team USA, the Blue Jays are not going to be the only team in this conversation for long. The kid is 17 and he already made Aaron Judge shake his head. That's enough for me. YouTube metadata package. Title: Blue Jays are scouting a 17-year-old who made Aaron Judge look human at the WBC. Description: José Contreras, son of former MLB All-Star José Contreras, just stranded the bases loaded against Team USA at the World Baseball Classic, getting Aaron Judge to ground into a double play with a 96.9 mph fastball. He's 17 years old, he's still in high school, and the Toronto Blue Jays have already been scouting him ahead of the 2026 MLB Draft. We break down who Contreras is, why this WBC performance matters, and what adding him could mean for Toronto's future.